Hey guys, welcome back. This is Val. I'm gonna do a quick video and demo of my new Sci-Fi Saloon HDR set for DAZ Studio. Now this is based on Stonemason's gorgeous Stardust Saloon prop and features 20, as you can see, HDR maps, right? Now upon installing, you can find it here in DAZ Library, Light Presets, Dreamlight, Array, Hot HDRI Sets, and also a Sci-Fi Saloon right there, right? So all you need to do is click on this first one, the set, and then on the render preset or setting. And then you can set your size, render size, and just switch over to NVIDIA Array, and it will instantly showcase the scenery. Now you have a camera preset in your scene, right? That's why you can see this, and you can also right click here and pretty much just rotate and you're good to go, right? Now these maps are rendered in 3 different heights: 170 centimeters, 100, and also 50. So this is great for action scenes, great for people sitting down or people standing up, all right? So you might be familiar with HDR maps already. These are 360 degrees, right? They are instant rendering, so virtually, because there is no scenery, no set, no room, or whatever you want to call it, it's very quick to render, right? And also brings the lighting. The lighting is captured in these HDR maps. They are saved in the EXR format, so the lighting is captured from all light sources, right? So let me load a character to my scene here. Hot HDR scans. Now I've made a lot of scans in my Render Hub store, right? And one of them is Payton 113. I'm gonna load this one. That just loads without the ottoman right on the floor. And I mean, we're gonna bring down the camera here a little bit so that we can kind of see. I mean, we are 170 centimeters up right now, so it's not ideal for this type of image, right? So we're gonna go back to the other folder. By the way, you see these quick scripts here I have? They go for the HDR folders here, right? This Sci-Fi Saloon here, and I have very quick, I can quickly navigate here, right? And this is easily done by going to, for instance, the main folder, Hot HDRI Sets. If you have several of them from my store, you can just right click and create here custom action. All right, click there, name it whatever you want to call it, and click on accept. Then we'll end up right here. All right, so let's change the map. All right, let's go for something else. Let's go one here that has a very low camera, like the number 9. So when you click on number 9, it will switch to number 9. And she looks very tiny because the camera is still at 170 centimeters up, right? So click on the camera, bring it down to 50, and then it's the correct height. Now we can move closer, and we can just rotate here quick. By the way, it's a lot quicker, as you can see, to move the camera around rather than the girl. All right, so click here, move left and right. Click here, move in and out, right? Or orbit here. It's very, very quick. As long as you click here to kind of fine tune at 50, you're good to go, right? So these are meant to be zoomed in, all right? At 10K, they are they can be zoomed in a little bit, and also you can have a more wider angle here as well. Now the thing is, I have a lot of cool camera angles here, right? If you go back here, I have outdoors, indoors, high up, all over the place, and mid height all over the place, including here, right when the bar is, right? So there's a lot of angles to choose from. This one here, pretty cool, pretty neat angle as well. It's right in the corner here with, there is some additional signs, and there's a door here as well, right? Pretty cool stuff. All right. As you can see, the lighting is perfectly matched. It captures the when I render these, I made sure to save every single data from the scene. So every single light source, you can see here on her thighs here, there is this light here being collected from here, right? And every single light is present. So these maps are very, very cool and realistic. And so you've got these a little bit higher up here. All right. And if you want to, you can have her sitting here on the chair, that's fine, right? But you can also bring her down as long as this looks like a mid-height, right? So here I would choose 100, just so I'm sure I have the correct height of the camera. Now the thing is, sometimes when you create images, right, you want to have depth of field. And this is not a huge issue. Let me just show you here. Let me just pick another one. Let's go for this number 9 here, because it looks so cool. And I'm going to show you a neat trick. Let's just pick camera 50. All right, cool. Now, when we, use HDR maps, they don't have blurry backdrop, right? They are just kind of sharp all over the place, right? This is the way they operate. When you zoom in a lot, you start to kind of lose sharpness a little bit, especially when you do that a lot. They become a little bit fuzzy in the background, right? But the thing is, when you don't see the ground, it's ideal to throw in a bit of depth of field, right? So here in my auxiliary viewport, I have the top view selected and wireframe. So I can go now on the camera and choose depth of field and set the correct, see this red line here? I want to kind of move that to her head, like there. And then you can set a lower f-stop value to have a cool looking depth of field. So you can use these maps with depth of field as long as you don't see the ground, right? But you can actually see the ground as well. I'm going to show you now how. It's a really neat trick. I use it all the time. So for instance, let's say we want to render her like that. Let's just make sure I have the correct height. 50, all right, that's pretty good. So let's say I want to, render this, and I wanted the background to be slightly blurry. All right, but I want to have kind of the ground where she's sitting, well, sharp, right? So how do we do that? Well, you render twice. It's very, very simple. So I'm gonna just render this really quickly. I have a pretty neat resolution here, and I'm just using my laptop here. The thing is, HDR maps are, really quick rendering, right? So this is one of my favorite ways to render is using HDR maps because they're just so quick. So I'm just gonna, I think it's already, yeah, it's done already. So I'm just gonna go ahead and save my image. All right, save as render. And I'm gonna call it render sharp. All right. Now I'm gonna click on the camera, turn on depth of field, turn on, modify this so it's slightly where her head is, and just use a slightly blurry backdrop. I think that looks pretty good, just the way it is, right? So I'm gonna render that again. And this will now bring a cool looking backdrop, although it will look kind of blurry where she's sitting down, right? So it's not ideal exactly where she's sitting down, but we're gonna merge these two images in, you guessed right, Photoshop, right? Render blurry. Now I'm gonna turn off rendering inside DAZ Studio and hop into Photoshop. So inside Photoshop, I'm gonna just load both my images in here. I'm gonna grab the blurry one, use Ctrl A to select all, Ctrl C to copy, then click on the other one, hit Ctrl V to paste it on top. Down here, I'm gonna open up and create a mask, right? So it ends up over here. Now I'm going to use black and white color and choose here a gradient and click and drag to somewhere around here, right? And as you can see, that now looks pretty cool, right? We have a kind of a sharp ground at the bottom, and we have a blurry backdrop. So it's pretty neat. Now, this is how it looks without the blurry effect, just sharp all over. And this is how it looks with the background slightly blurry. And still, the ground is sharp as it is on the main render, right? So this is a really neat trick that you can use with HDR maps. I mean, they are kind of limited at times, right? But that's kind of true for every single technique out there. Everything is limited. It has its own pros and cons. And what we can do just to finalize it is flatten the image, go to camera raw, and I use this all the time. I had a little bit of vignetting to pull the edges, kind of make them a little bit darker, so we are bringing more attention towards the center. We can do a little bit more blue tint, a little bit more exposure bump. We can adjust the contrast, right? Just play with this a little bit, and it's a pretty neat thing. So guys, this set is available in my Render Hub store. There is a link below this video. So go ahead and check that out. There is an initial sale. Plus there's additional links to my entire Render Hub store as well as my DAZ store, and also a special $1 trial for DAZ Studio training called the Super 3D Art Quick Start. If you wanna create DAZ Studio art quicker, faster, and have more fun than ever. So that's pretty much it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Have fun with your art, and I'll see you soon again.